Guys, I can almost 100% guarantee Noah's going to spill coffee on my side of the bed.
Top of the morning to ya.
And if he does, I'm not letting him edit it out. So you'll hear it if it happens.
I'm not going to spill. We've talked about this in the podcast. You always think I'm going to spill.
But now you have hot coffee.
It's not even hot. It's warm coffee at best.
Fine. Warm coffee on my bed.
It's my bed too.
But you're on my side.
Okay. But we're recording on the horizontal.
We do record on the horizontal.
So it's technically I'm on both sides. Okay. And yes, guys, we're doing a morning episode.
We're doing a morning episode. That's why I have a horrific headache.
What do you mean? The morning gives you a headache?
I have headaches in the morning.
Oh.
I think just the shock of the day makes my head hurt.
Well, maybe we should just get back into bed and take a nap.
Okay. Good night, Noah.
Okay. But I have a couple things I want to talk about.
It's the Bedtime Podcast.
Okay, first and foremost, if you're watching, then you know we are in robes.
We're in robes. We're robe people.
It's robe season.
It's robe season. Well, yeah, we're not robe people in the summer. That would be a crime.
I mean, I would wear like a silk robe in the summer.
Okay. When we can afford that, that'll happen.
Is that expensive?
Silk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also probably pretty bad for the environment.
Is it?
I don't know. Something about worms.
It's snails, right?
No, it's worms. Silkworms.
Oh.
I believe.
Sound off in the comments.
But we are in robes, and I have been starting my days waking up, putting on a robe because I sleep with minimal clothing because I run hot. And I really love wearing the robe.
I do too.
It's nice and cozy.
We've had these robes for so long and we've never worn them. They're both Costco robes, hand-me-downs from my dad.
I'm wearing your father's robe.
So am I.
That one's your dad's robe too?
Yeah, Costco. They're both Costco. This one's Tommy Bahama. I don't know. His is so old it doesn't have a tag. They're the same blue robe.
Can you leave the house in a robe?
No.
How far outside can I go in my robe?
Mailbox.
I can go to the mailbox in the robe.
Yeah.
Tony Soprano set the precedent.
Yeah. You can go to the mailbox in a robe or even the garbage, but something about taking the garbage out to the dumpster in a robe disgusts me.
So if I had a coffee shop at the end of my street,
no,
couldn't robe it.
No, robes are not outside clothes. You can't go past the sidewalk.
Okay. I get those rules. And
I think that's a good rule.
I will abide by those rules.
Thank you.
If you saw someone come into a coffee shop in a robe, first thoughts?
They're having a rough day. Rough month, I think. A robe. A robe says to the world.
Hey, buddy. You're in a robe right now. Are you okay?
I would just buy their coffee if they were in a robe. I'm like, hey, you know what? I got it. You go back to bed.
Yeah.
You take that coffee back to bed.
I think my favorite thing about a robe is it is almost an extension of my bed.
Well, yeah, it's basically a blanket coat.
Yeah.
A coat blanket. These aren't terry cloths, so they're not robes for post-shower, even though sometimes I do put it on post-shower. These are morning robes.
Wait, Syd, talk to me about that. There are two different types of robes?
I think there's multiple types of robes, but a lot of robes are made out of like towel material, so you just put them on after the shower and they dry you off.
And this robe doesn't dry you off?
No, these are like fleece.
What's terry cloth?
Like towel.
That's the name of a towel material?
I
terry
think
cloth?
so.
Love that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Man.
We learn a lot on this pod.
I mean, you're always teaching me things.
That is true. Syd, what should I order? What's this? What's this? That's my impression of Noah. Syd, what's this? Syd, what time is it? Syd, what's the weather outside? Syd, what is this?
It is a lot.
It's so much.
Especially, when we go out to eat and there's like a certain way to eat something, or there's like an array, there's an arrangement of accoutrement.
Arrangement of accoutrement?
You know, there's like there's a selection of accoutrement.
I don't know what you have to expand.
Like if we're going to, I don't know, sushi or like
you know how to eat sushi.
No, but some type of ramen thing. You know, it's like there's a certain specific way to eat something. Oh, like what happened the other night? We got pho, and you know they got all the, you know, the shoots and the mints and the lemons. And I kept asking Sid, I'm like, okay, what are you gonna do with this?
Yeah, even though you've had pho like a million times.
Are you gonna put this in that?
Yeah, he can't eat without me telling him what to do.
I just like your taste.
Even last night at sushi, he was like, "Did you put soy sauce on this piece of fish?"
I trust are only putting the best of things in your mouth.
That's true. I'm pretty picky.
So I, chose you for basically that reason.
That's all he likes about me.
And I'm going to find out what you want in your mouth.
I do think I have good taste.
I will say that I feel like I'm a lot more self-sufficient than you think.
I disagree.
I went to a wedding a couple weekends ago, and all the groomsmen, we were getting ready. Mm-hmm. You would not believe how dumbfounded these men were putting on a tux.
Really?
They needed so much help, so much assistance.
I mean, I don't think, who cares about a tux? You do that once every couple years for a stupid wedding, which we need to abolish black tie weddings, in my opinion. What?
Sure.
He agrees.
But, putting on the cufflinks they couldn't do. They couldn't put on the clip-on bow tie.
That's sad.
How do I put these suspenders on?
That's bleak.
And I had no trouble. There was like a woman from the wedding planning committee or whatever that was like tasked with helping out the guys. Mm-hmm. I didn't need her help.
No,
I was fine.
For you.
I was very proud of myself. These other men, including the groom, useless.
If you don't deserve to have a black tie wedding if you can't figure out how to put your tuxedo on. Not deserve. You just shouldn't have one. No one should have one. Abolish black tie weddings.
I trained for these things.
Yeah.
I think, yes. Do I ask you a lot of questions? Sure. But do I try to remember the things I've asked and the answers you've given? Yes.
I think just my least favorite thing you ask me is the time, because then I just go, "Hey Google, what time is it?" And she tells us, and she heard me.
But I guess
you could just do that.
Yeah, but I only here's the thing. I ask you the time when you're looking at your phone, and you'll still ask Google.
I'm not looking at my phone.
Sometimes
I'm doing shit.
No, but sometimes you're looking at your phone, and I'm in the bathroom, and I'm not looking at my phone.
So you can't see that I'm looking at my phone because you're in the bathroom. Your story's not adding up.
No, I know you're on your phone.
You don't.
Yes, I can tell.
I'm not on my phone as much as you think.
This woman's on her phone all the time.
I'm on it a lot. I think it's why I have a permanent headache.
Yeah, I do think our phones are contributing to a overall dizziness that everyone's having.
And I have no memory.
And a headache?
I have a headache and no memory.
Yeah.
It's alarming.
What's happening to us?
I really want to get that little phone that Brett told us about.
The one that Kendrick Lamar
is making.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar is coming out with a phone that's just like the basic necessities.
It's email, maps, texts, and like a phone.
But you have to add like email. You have to add all those other accoutrements.
Accoutrement.
What does accoutrement mean?
It's like the shit you need to do something. Or I don't know, honestly. I have a headache.
It's the shit you need to do something.
Like,
no, I would love that phone though.
I know. I'm going to get it and then get rid of my phone. And then I don't know how I'll do Instagram.
I like that that's a thing. There's like businesses being developed that are like,
let's downsize.
Yeah. How do we undo what we've been doing?
I'm seriously getting it. I'm not joking.
It looks like a little like Polly Pocket.
Yeah.
Or whatever that thing was in the 90s. Remember that?
Okay, it does not look like a Polly Pocket. It looks like a little phone, and it's black and white. I'm truly getting it. It's $200.
I think you should.
I'm going to. And then actually I'll keep my phone, but I'll take off like the phone capabilities of it so it can just be like, and I can leave it at home.
It's like a mini computer.
Yeah. So like when I need to do Instagram for work, which like it kills me that I need Instagram for this fucking job. Like it kills me.
For what job?
Comedy and like acting and writing. And like I would love to be like, no, you don't. No, you don't. But like every time I post about my show, we sell tickets.
No, you do. I mean,
It's fucking annoying.
But I know it's annoying, but I do think I'd rather do comedy now with the use of the internet than doing comedy back then.
Well, yeah. It helps a lot.
Because back then you're just like, gee, I hope Mr. NBC sees me and gives me a deal.
Yeah. Gee, I hope Mr. NBC sees me and gives me a deal. Yeah.
And yeah, obviously I hope Mr. NBC sees me now and still gives me a deal, but I don't need Mr. NBC to give me a deal.
Well, no, now we don't because
we can create an audience on Instagram.
You've said it before. This is like our own little cable access show, which is honestly my dream. So we've done our dream.
Yeah.
If only it was my full-time job, but
anyways, so I wanted to recap, as I think it's becoming tradition after we have a guest.
Yeah, our guest. We had Brett Moline on last week. Fabulous guest.
I like that guy.
I like him too.
I think I want to continue to be friends with him.
Me too.
Hopefully we don't ever have a guest and then after we're like, oh boy.
Never seeing them again.
No, Brett was great. He was so cute because he, usually Syd and I really try to, if you're watching, we try to mostly look at the camera and not look at each other because I think it just plays better for the clips. Mm-hmm. And he was very thrown off by that.
Yeah, I loved that.
But he got the hang of it.
Yeah.
He was also talking very low. He was like very shy.
I was shocked that he was a little shy.
Like
but he was so funny.
No, he was very funny and he did open up, but I forget he is a little bit shy.
Yeah, which all the best people are. I'm incredibly shy. You just don't know it yet.
I think people don't understand how shy performers actually are.
Yeah, because we come alive when we perform because we're like kind of technically not being ourselves. We're being a performer. And then back in our real lives, we're like, don't look at me.
Don't you dare look at me.
Don't look at me.
I'm going to be quiet. Sit in the corner. Actually, I really...
You're not really shy, though.
No, but, at work, I don't like to be expected to carry the conversation. I much rather be able to be thinking and then add value when I have something to say.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, talking all the time.
Totally. I hate talking all the time.
I am a little shy, Syd. I am.
You're not, but okay.
I am. But I really liked having Brett on, and man, he's just such a good performer.
I know, he's so funny.
I miss seeing him on your UCB team.
Me too.
He was just he's such a gifted performer.
Yeah, I don't miss being on a UCB team, but I do miss hanging out with those people twice a week.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Why don't you miss being on a UCB team?
I think, and maybe it's changed now, but back when I was doing it, which was like 6 years ago, it just was an environment that really like forced you to be competitive with your friends. And I hate that because I want to work with my friends. I don't want to be competitive with them. I don't want to like be desperate for spots. And stage time and have to compete with people I love. I want to perform with my friends. I don't want to compete with them. And Harold and I at UCB and Mod a little bit, you had to like compete with everybody. And I'm just not competitive like that. I want to work with people.
Yeah, man. I hate competitive comedy.
I do too. It's the fucking worst. We don't have to be competitive. My comedy is not like your comedy. Go do your thing. Let me do my thing. There's enough room for all of us.
Yeah. In a writer's room too, like sometimes I sense competition and I just think it's the worst.
It's the fucking worst. Nothing kills comedy like competition.
Yeah. Like feeling like you lost the day.
Oh,
because
so dumb.
Like, or someone's better than you because they pitched more that day.
Oh, it's so stupid. You're all trying to make a show. Like it's a group effort.
it's a group effort. Everyone needs to know their role. And sometimes your role is to talk a lot. Sometimes your role is to talk less. Sometimes your role is to chime in just with jokes. Like it's just like a sports team.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the one instance that I think sport teams are good because it is a group effort.
I think sport team is good.
I think sport team is good.
Because it's group effort.
It's group effort. Oh my God. Speaking of comedy, I know I'm supposed to wait till the end, but I just read Lindy West's book, Shit, actually, and it is the funniest thing I've ever fucking read. And this does relate because she had a Norwegian mom. And throughout the whole book, it's sprinkled in a bit how her mom would always be like, you're not special. You're not better than anybody else. And Lindy's like, I'm so fucking glad my mom said that to me because Lindy's really anti-exceptionalism. She's like, it's bad for everybody. Like, you should not be trying to be the best or better than everybody else. And I've said this on the pod, actually. We all just need to be looking out for each other, taking care of each other, working together. Trying to be the best is actively bad. You don't need to be the best, sweetie. Like, you're not special. And I say that with love. I say that in an amazing way. Like, relax, take care of yourself, you know?
Yeah. What did her therapist say about narcissism? Someone who was like narcissists become narcissists because they've been kind of put on a mantle, like in their childhood.
A mantle.
Like was put on a pedestal.
Yes.
It could be a mantle.
No, he could. Because you were put on a pedestal as a child and you never quite felt that was correct. But now you're a fucking narcissist because you grew up like not feeling like the world didn't treat you like how you were supposed to be treated or something like that.
Well, no, I think it's that your parents kind of boosted you and never told you did anything wrong.
But then once you get in the real world, people start to tell you you're doing things wrong and you're like, well, that's not true. The shit.
I'm conditioned to not think that way.
Yeah.
And that is how people, narcissists can always see themselves as the victim.
Yeah. So cute. We love a narcissist.
Wait, so what's exceptionalism?
Like having to be the best. Mm-hmm. Like having to be better than everybody else.
Did your parents did they tell you weren't shit, or did they boost you up a lot?
No, they didn't tell me I wasn't. I mean, my mom definitely told me I wasn't like shit. She would, and I've had to do a lot of work on this too. She would tell me like, oh, that lady who wrote, she really always compared me to the lady who wrote My Big Fat Greek Wedding and Jason Segel. She was like, they weren't like, pretty and talented enough to like be the star of the movie. So they wrote their own and like, that's how they got to do it. And like, so yeah, she always was like, you're going to have to need a sneaky side way, like to do comedy because like, you're not that great.
But your dad
my dad thinks I'm incredible.
Yeah. Like you can do no wrong.
No, but my mom did enough damage to undo all of that. So,
but I think you would have been a narcissist if you had two parents telling you.
No, I agree. I'm glad it evened out,
Yeah. I had both parents telling me I wasn't shit.
That's great though. And it's also because like your dad's an immigrant and your mom is, a grounded person.
It wasn't like I wasn't shit. It was just always like, be humble.
Yeah.
Like, be confident, don't be cocky. That was like a big thing preached in my house. Be confident, don't be cocky.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell everyone how great you are.
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
Like the best thing you can do and the type of person people want to be around is someone who just knows it and feels it.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite thing about your parents is that they actively would not let you go to any school that wasn't a state school. Like, I think that is so beautiful.
Wait, why? That's interesting.
Because I love that they were like, you think people who go to Harvard are better than people who go to state school? No, you're fucking going to state school. Like, you want to have loans for the rest of your life?
Well,
like,
that's what it was about.
No, but I still think it's like, if they really thought people who went to Harvard were better than people who went to state school, of course they'd let you go to Harvard. But they don't. They know that that's not shit,
Yeah.
And I love that about your parents.
Yeah, I remember being frustrated by that at the time.
And now it's the biggest gift because you don't have loans.
Yeah, no, it is a huge gift. I mean, going to ASU was great because I got a lot of money to go there because they didn't have, like, I'm not saying I was that smart in high school, but
yeah, we all know.
But for me to go to ASU, I was like one of the smarter kids they could get. So they gave me a lot of money to go.
Yeah.
So it, created a really favorable financial situation for me.
Yeah. And I just love that about your parents.
I really wanted to go to Syracuse.
Well, where I went, the #1 journalism school in the country. And look at me now. I do a cable access show for free out of my bed.
It's not free. We have 15 patrons.
And thank you guys. We love you.
We love you guys.
And if you're not a patron, it's only $3 if you don't want to get the extra video.
Yeah, we're getting about like a decent number of listens and plays on these free ones.
Yeah. So if you just want to give us $3 a month.
Come on.
That's so cheap.
Damn, we would be crushing it.
That's the lowest level of our Patreon. So I love you guys. Noah works 18 hours a week on this podcast. It almost ruins our marriage how much he has to work.
That's not true.
No, it's not true.
You're very supportive with my work.
I know. I just wish he got paid for it.
Yeah. Okay, anyways. So Brett was good. We had a good time. We talked about the robes. Okay, last night we had a date night.
Date night. We went
and got sushi.
We weirdly live in the #1 sushi neighborhood in LA, and it's not Little Tokyo. For some reason, there's a really good sushi in Studio City.
Yeah, on Ventura, we went to Katsuya.
Yeah.
And then after we went to see a movie that Sid and I have been really pining to see.
But before we went to the movie, we came home and we changed into pajamas.
Yeah, we wore nice date night clothes
to dinner.
And then we got out of dinner and we were stuffed and we were right around the corner from our place and we were just like, should we change into some sweats?
Yeah, and we did, and I'm so glad.
Best decision we've ever made.
I highly recommend working a change, a changing time into date night.
Yeah, a nice wardrobe change.
Yeah,
great,
impeccable.
Unless you're going out to drinks, but if you're going,
I don't drink.
Well, no, but if you're going, if part 2 of the date can be. If it's a comfort sort of thing, like going to the movies, or it's it can be relaxing, make it relaxing.
Yeah.
Who wants to sit in a movie theater, stuffed to the gills? My stomach is about to bust through my pants.
Yeah, my jeans were very tight.
Here's the thing: we go to that dinner in those clothes. I am undoing the top button on my corduroys and unzipping my pants while I watch that movie.
Yeah, I literally had to take my pants off immediately.
And there's a lot at risk there.
There really is.
I mean, we could be called pedophiles.
Yeah.
Sexual deviants.
Yeah.
So nay, I say. We go home. We get into some sweats. We're very comfy. We get to the movie. We see Priscilla.
Yeah.
A movie written and directed by Sofia Coppola based on the novel Elvis and Me, written by Priscilla Presley, and it is a biopic of about Priscilla Presley, kind of through just about her marriage to Elvis.
Yeah, I mean, it was really from her perspective, unlike the Baz Luhrmann shitster piece. What was that movie called?
Elvis.
Oh, that was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was truly terrible.
What killed him was love.
Yeah, I'm really happy in Priscilla the
Colonel's not in it at all.
The Colonel is not in it.
Which I think was a very solid choice, Sophia. And I know you listened to the pod, so good job.
No, I think that was a solid choice. I mean, he is present. They talk about him.
I almost feel like she did it as a fuck you to Baz Luhrmann.
I mean, to make an Elvis movie and have 80% of the POV be from the Colonel
is atrocious.
It's crazy.
Baz Luhrmann should be drawn and quartered for that decision.
He should be court-martialed.
Yeah, sick. And I choose to live in a world where Sofia Coppola was like, that movie was so much about the Colonel that I'm not even going to have him in my movie.
Yeah. The movie was boring.
It was boring. But Sofia Coppola movies are boring.
Yeah.
So we weren't surprised there.
But it was
interesting.
I know that's a conflicting idea, but it was interesting. It made me... I just didn't know that side of the story. I didn't know about Priscilla Presley. I didn't know what...
Well, we didn't know Elvis was a pedo.
Yeah.
disgusting.
So, I mean, I guess spoiler alert, but
It's not a spoiler alert. She was 14 years old and he was 24 when they started dating.
yeah.
That's history.
There's literally a scene in the movie where he's like, how old are you? He's like, oh, what are you, a junior in high school? Which is like, what, that would have been okay?
Still so bad. And she's like, ninth
And he's like, ninth what?
grade.
Ha ha, you know, man, you're just a baby.
And he like gets a boner.
He loves it.
He literally blows his load right there.
But I guess to Elvis's credit, he doesn't have sex with her until she's 21 and they're married.
Which is also horrifying. Like, because she's horny the whole time. The whole movie's about how she was like a doll to him, his property.
I mean, he really led her on for 7 years.
It's so upsetting.
What's crazy is they were married for 6 years, but they were together before that for like 7, or she at least thought that they were a thing for 7 years.
Yeah.
So that's
they were. She like her whole life, basically from when she was 14, was about Elvis. She didn't have a life anymore. It was all waiting for Elvis to call.
From 14 to 28 when she ultimately divorces Elvis. 14 years. I mean, that is a long relationship.
It's the whole movie made me really uncomfortable.
And like, 7 years of that, they ain't banging.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how much they even banged after they got married. I think they had a daughter, obviously.
Yeah, I think they had sex one time. And that was when they made Lisa Marie.
Yeah.
It's a disturbing movie.
It's so crazy.
It's really upsetting. I'm glad it was made, to be honest. It's not Sofia Coppola's not for me. If I had made this movie, it'd be an erotic thriller. She's masturbating the whole time. Elvis is really scary. Like, they did a good job at making him a little scary, but I think he should have been more scary.
Yeah, I feel like they protected him a little too much.
Yeah.
Like, I think they could have gone harder, and they wouldn't have been wrong to do it.
No.
But
they did really put him out there, like, as a bad guy.
No, they put him out as a bad guy, but I feel like they also protected him a little bit.
Yeah, they could have gone further.
Like, I'm sure it was a lot worse than what they showed.
Yeah.
There's a part of he basically kidnaps her.
Yeah.
He flies her. He of course, calls her parents and says, I'm Elvis Presley. Like, you have nothing to worry about. Like, I'm going to take care of your daughter. Like, let her come move from Germany, where she was living on a military base with her father, to Graceland. And he's on tour, and she's
finishes high school there.
Finishing high school.
And she's not allowed to have people over. She's not allowed to have friends. She's not allowed to like play in the yard. They get her a dog, and it's similar to the Princess Diana thing, if you watched The Crown or know anything about that, where basically once she marries Charles, she's like a prisoner in the castle, and Princess Diana would roller skate around the castle because she was so fucking bored. And with Priscilla, she's just like sitting on the couch,
just so horny, vibrators back then.
No,
I mean, maybe
I'm sure they did. Or actually, maybe they didn't.
Yeah, back then you'd have to sit on a speaker.
Sound off in the comments if you know anything about vibrators in the 50s and 60s, because that is something I want to know about.
And he, like, at one point she's like, hey, like, I thought it'd be good to, maybe I could get a job at the salon
boutique.
And he's like, it's gonna be me or a job, baby.
Me a career, baby. I need you to be home when I call. I need you to be available when I call. It's so gross. Jacob Elordi did a great job.
He was great. That's the thing, that the performances are amazing.
Yeah.
Really good.
And the performance of the Colonel, or lack thereof, was my favorite part.
Yeah.
I loved No Colonel.
I would have loved to see the auditions for Priscilla.
Well, I auditioned for it.
You did?
Yeah. Don't you remember you taped me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can redo it here.
Yeah, can we see the tape?
I'm Syd Steinberg. This is my audition for Priscilla. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Elvis, I'm horny. Elvis, please, I'm horny. Elvis, why won't you fuck me? Elvis, please, I'm horny. Scooby! Elvis, I'm leaving you to go do karate. And that was my audition.
She was like popping so many pills too.
Yeah, she was. It was sick. She starts doing drugs. But it never seems to be a huge problem for her, which is kind of nice.
No, she seems aware of it, that like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this as much as him.
Wish my journey could have been a little more like that.
At one point in the movie, he's like free. He like punches her with the pillow.
It's horrifying.
And she's like, hey, I think the drugs are maybe a little bit too much. And he's like, my doctor's taking care of it. I don't need an amateur opinion.
He's awful. He's so awful. And luckily I was never that big of an Elvis fan, so this movie didn't like destroy my life.
I love Elvis. You know what's also crazy? You know, there's a scene in the movie where he's listening to other people's music and to, I guess, re-record on, you know, in his own name. And that's just such a crazy idea. Like, the insecurity he must have had that he couldn't like write his own music.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he could for some songs, but for a bulk of them, he didn't.
I don't think so, because
he stole a lot of people's music.
I was going to say, didn't he steal from black people?
He stole,
like, majorly. Yeah. Elvis is hashtag not a king.
Canceled. He's done.
We're canceling Elvis. I don't believe in cancel culture. Except for I would love to get canceled so I can move to Paris. So if anyone has any dirt on me, I know I have to remind them. If you have any dirt on me, feel free to make it public.
Yeah. I did really feel bad for Priscilla. And, you know, it's another example of like all the money in the world. That doesn't mean that person's happy.
Well, no, she was a prisoner.
She was a prisoner.
She was never allowed to develop a personality until she was like 27 and she starts doing karate.
Yeah, there's a scene where she's like, I'm going to stay in LA for a couple of days. And it cuts to a montage of her just like doing karate.
And she falls in love with her karate instructor, which I'm obsessed with. That like this woman just likes karate. Like, I think that's incredible.
She probably felt scared around Elvis and was I want to be able to defend myself.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy. Like, all she wanted was a guy who like treated her kindly, like let her have her own life. Like,
she didn't know she wanted that.
Yeah.
She was literally a child when she
obsessed
met
with
Elvis. Yeah. When you're a child, you don't know any better. You don't know that you need your own life, your own personality. She never got to develop a personality. She never got to have friends. It's crazy. It's so sad.
It's also sad that she outlived her daughter.
Oh, yeah. That shit always sad.
She's still alive today.
Yeah. We love you, Priscilla. We love you, Priscilla.
So what are you into this week?
Okay. I mean, Lindy West, obviously. I ordered all her other books. And then there's a store in LA called Goodies. If you live in LA, go to Goodies. It's on Glendale Boulevard in Atwater Village. They have basket purses. This is really specific. I love a basket purse. Google it. Jane Birkin carried one. If you look them up online, they're like $150. It's for a fucking basket. At Goodies, they are $15 to $25. Happy shopping, my friends.
Cool.
I bought 3.
You bought 3?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They're so cute.
What am I into? I'm into people championing other people. And hopefully I have more to say on that next week.
Exciting.
Guys, we have a Patreon. We're going to hop over there. We're on social media. We're on YouTube. We're wearing robes. It's very sexy.
We love you.
We love you guys.
Goodbye.
Good night. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
It's the Bedtime Podcast.